2, 1. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. So you're not all that excited, man. The hell are you doing?
Should I be excited? Why?
Of course you should be excited.
Why?
Because it's Wednesday. We have extra content tonight. So it's an extra half hour of show, and we get to swear a lot, and people pay us for it. Not really. And then on top of that, it's our last show of the year.
Now that I'm excited about. I am definitely screaming toward the finish line of shows.
That is the last thing you should be excited about. You should be sad that we're taking the next 2 weeks off because people will forget about us and we'll never recover from it.
Brother, couple things. First, if they forget about us, then so be it. Second, I do a lot of shows. Let's just be real here. I do a lot of shows. I do 3 or 4 shows a week officially. Then my guy over at Aftershocks wants me to kind of be part of that. So that's a 5th show a week. That's 15 hours of content that I got to come up with every single week.
One, you don't really have to come up with content. Do we ever really come up with content here? It's most like
I have lists.
It's shooting the shit. I hope you do because I got nothing today. Shooting the shit about movies and having a good time and playing some music sometimes and talking about the texts that come in and I mean it's a good time. It's not like this is hard work.
It's not hard. Believe me, I'm not trying to compare myself to a steel worker or anything. I'm just saying I'm tired. All I'm saying is I'm tired. I need a break.
Comparing yourself to like a firefighter or a
policeman. No, not at all. I've been on firefighter.
You are a surgeon, if you will. A surgeon of the technical podcast world.
Yeah, I am an X scholar. I'm a scholar on everything that's on X.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. No, I'm just tired. I mean, honestly, I'm just tired. And even when I say about the content, it's more making sure that I don't repeat it.
Yeah.
That's difficult, making sure that I find, because I find stuff every day, but then I got to figure out, well, where's it going to work best? There's certain things I can do on this show that I can't do on CMS, and there's certain things I can't do on Chris Aiken Presents that I can do here. And, so it's all a fucking balancing act. It really is.
I've literally been sick for the past 4 days. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
A whole lot what's going on. My daughter and I have both been sick. It's been kind of around here.
Well, that's not fun.
Feels like, and it's like a stomach / flu / I don't know, some weird kind of thing going on.
Are you tired too? I have been just dogged. Of course, might be because I'm getting 2 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah,
But
I'm always tired because you get up early, go to do the show, and then do this stuff, and then I got a TV show that I'm working on, and I got with Bob, and then I got the DoorDash and stuff. So it's like nonstop. I'm always working, but I mean that's all right. This year I actually had money to get some Christmas gifts, and so it's been nice. It's been kind of fun. So I mean, money is the key, dude, to success and happiness.
yes. By the way, to throw it back to a show, 2 weeks ago or last week or whenever,
Yes.
I found a moment. I didn't cry during it, but I found a TV moment that actually made me sad.
Okay.
Did you watch NYPD Blue?
Yeah, I've seen NYPD Blue. Yeah.
When Bobby Simone dies of his heart giving out, I was pretty sad. I just saw it today. And was like,
all the things to get sad about is NYPD Blue, dude.
It was sad.
Romance or heart.
Oh, wait a minute now. You obviously didn't watch enough NYPD Blue.
Apparently not.
That show defined nakedness for TV.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I've seen that.
That show was king of the side tit.
And didn't one guy show his ass and stuff?
Oh yeah, Sipowicz. He showed his ass. Yeah. But boy, there's some good-looking broads in that show.
What did I break down to? We keep talking about the fact that I break down to like everything. I broke down to another like reel on Facebook the other day. It was like, it was like a guy that brought home a dog and stuff. But it made me happy, sad. It was a happy cry. But so did you get the TV yet for your non-girlfriend?
No. I haven't even thought about shopping.
All right, so you're lying. You're lying. Absolutely.
I haven't.
I can tell when you're lying.
I have not thought about shopping at all. I've done none.
So you're just waiting until after the show today, and then you're done, and you're going to be able to race out to the Walmart?
Dude, I have not been in a store in 10 years. I will not be racing out. The most I'll do is pull up the Amazon app and grab something.
Yeah.
And pay the extra $10 to get it shipped where it needs to get to. I won't be wrapping it. I won't be doing any of that shit. I'll just be buying something.
I've got Prime, and I have now 3 cards that are connected to my Amazon account, right? Which is the worst fucking idea known to man. As soon as I see something, I'm like, all right, I'll use the bank card for it. No, just use a credit card for that. Then I don't have to pay for it for a while. And I'm just buying everything that I see that I want.
It's amazing you stay married.
Why?
Or does she do that too?
Well, dude, she doesn't get... yeah, of course she does. That's why it's impossible to buy her stuff for Christmas, because if she wants it, she just buys it.
Yeah, of course. That's what I do.
Look, here's the deal. I've never, in my entire radio career, been able to buy more than Christmas gifts for my daughter and vodka and cigarettes. And now that I've given up vodka and cigarettes and actually doing like a bunch of different work other than just, the radio show stuff,
sure,
I actually have money to buy some stuff every now and then. Not a lot. I'm by no means well off or by no means rich or anything like that. I make my bills and I get some crap that I want.
Sure.
My closet is full of hoodies that I want to buy. Now, the thing is, they're like $14.99 hoodies from Burlington. So it's not like they're $60 hoodies that I get or something like that. But I like to be able to buy something. And so, again, by no means do I have any kind of money put away for anything. But I have at least a little bit to enjoy my life a little.
Well, there you go.
Life is too short, man. I found out when you're in the hospital, you're in a coma, and you lose a fucking leg, that the next day could be your last. So you might as well enjoy what little bit you have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have much, but I'd like to at least enjoy a little bit what I got.
Yeah, I don't disagree. We just spend our enjoyment time differently. That's all. Like I enjoy accomplishing shit. That work is actually okay for me. I don't mind that. I'd rather work than not. Honestly, I'd rather work than do just about anything else. I'd rather work than go to shows or go to movies or go to anything. I'd rather work. Because at least when the work is done, I've accomplished something, which is far more than anybody thought I ever would.
There you go. All right, can you promise me something?
Sure.
If aliens take over while we're on a break, we can go on and do a show.
Well, I think we'll be dead, won't we, if they take
No,
over?
but I mean, like, say they move into the White House or they take over the government or something like that. I think it would be nice if we did a show.
Well, I'll let you do one.
If aliens take over, what are the odds of that actually happening?
Dude, I don't care who takes over. I'm taking the time off. I am taking the time off. I want nothing to do with any humor for 2 weeks. I want just 2 weeks of just peace. By the way, I want to go back to the crying for a minute because did you know that you, Seth, you specifically, while you may cry yourself, you are causing people to cry.
I am.
Did you not know that?
No, but I'm happy about that.
This lady here, I saw this and I thought of you immediately. She says that that Trump supporters like you are mocking liberals' real grief. And you need to stop and have some empathy. Check her. She looks the part right away, right?
She does, yeah.
What's her name? Karen Karenson? All right, but listen to her. She's going to tell you a thing or two.
I've seen some videos on here of Trump supporters openly mocking our very real grief.
Yes.
I was watching the Seth Williams show. Ha ha! You lost. Now we're going to really mock you, you stupid cunt. All right, here we go.
That lack of empathy, that of course was also shown at the polls, is the exact reason why I don't want any of you in my life.
No problem.
Not a problem here. Hey, okay.
No problemo. We are definitely mocking you. We just dealt with 4 years of your shit.
Yeah, and let me tell you, empathy. I mean, empathy of the polls. I mean, come on, man. This person's retarded.
Yeah. I've seen videos online. When she said that, I was like, she must be watching us.
Yes. Yes, you're correct. We are.
I just thought I'd share.
Do you have anything else to say, or is that it?
I think it goes right to the TikTok thing.
All right, so I
Yeah. Go ahead.
saw the best shirt ever the other day.
Okay.
It was a tank top, black tank top, all rainbow letters, right?
Right.
And it says there are more than 2 genders. Okay. And on the front of the shirt, it lists all these different genders, right? Of all the different things that there are that you can call yourself now.
Okay.
And then you go to buy the shirt,
Yeah.
right? And it says select fit, male or female.
That's funny.
32 genders on the front of the shirt, but select fit, male or female.
And
Only
nobody
2
even
genders.
blinks at that.
No, 2 genders to pick from when you go to buy the shirt.
Yeah. Well, don't say it too loud, because if you say it too loud, then they'll probably find a way to complain about it.
You fucking dumbass. You said that before. Idiot.
What?
Nothing. Matthew's just
Who
stupid.
cares?
I'm not even going to bother with this junk today.
Who
Merry
cares?
Christmas, Matthew. Have a great holiday. Hope you get everything you want. In fact, I already gave you one gift, and that would be the gift of Trump. Enjoy it for the next 4 years,
That's
Matthew.
right. Every time you think of Matthew, you'll be drinking this bottle.
Yes, look at that. That is the gift that Bob France gave to me today.
That's awesome.
Special edition Republican red wine. There you go.
Would you share a drink with Matthew?
I would absolutely. Absolutely. Make him drink the red blood of Republican happiness.
Made liquid from liberal tears.
Yes. It's actually in the ingredients.
It probably is. Grapes and liberal tears.
But it's awesome. Look at that. That is pretty good, right?
Now, are you going to drink it or are you going to collect it?
Well, I can always keep the bottle and drink the wine, man. Well,
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to drink the... But I am going to keep the bottle. That bottle's not going anywhere.
Sure. All right, I'll give Matthew credit. That's a good joke. For Trump, it would have been orange vodka or something. That's pretty good. I got to ask that question. Nobody just directly asks it. What is with the fucking bad spray tan on that guy?
I don't know.
It
Maybe
just looks bad. The man, look, I'm not picking at Donald Trump. I'm super glad that it is not Camel Toe as our president-elect. But man, I saw him. He was making some speech the other day. And I mean, this shit looked like it probably came out of a can of turtle wax.
Look, I've never seen him in person, so I'd have to actually see him up close. But they did a whole story about how the news media and the certain channels will make him actually look oranger than he actually is. Like
maybe that's it.
Just the tint to make him look bad because
like OJ,
right? I mean, well, they do that a lot with I hate to say with black people, but they do.
Right.
There are TV channels that will make people look darker skinned than they actually are for the story that they're doing. I mean, it's a race baiting crap thing that they do. And I'm not usually the race baiter kind of guy, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
And who cares? I don't care if he's fucking purple. He's better than fucking Biden.
Yeah, well, I see that President Biden's getting a statue, or at least they're talking about it.
Really? They talked about
statue.
We talked about not giving him his presidential library because I fucked everything up at the end.
Put a statue out in front of the White House for President Biden. You see that as wrong?
I do. Did you notice? Well, you have a picture of it. Is there a nice picture of the?
No, it was just a grok video. It wasn't a real one.
So they are pissed at him, like beyond belief, that they actually talked about taking away, like not giving him the presidential library because it's all his fault that all this happened. It's
right.
his fault that Trump actually won.
Sure.
He should have stepped aside and said he wasn't running a long time before he did. And then when he did decide to step aside, the first thing he did was come out of that office and say, I endorse Kamala Harris. Go Kamala. Yeah. Knowing full well that she wasn't going to win.
Well, and then he showed up in like a Trump hat. Remember that? When he showed up at the thing and put on the Trump hat and carried it onto the plane and stuff?
Hey, his fucking wife shows up on election day dressed in red.
That's a good point, Cody.
In case nobody's watching, the statue should be a dildo without a brain. Yes. Although I think a dildo without a brain is still smarter than President Biden.
Yeah. It can still make a buzzing noise.
So I've managed to not get in arguments on Facebook.
Well, that's nice.
For like the past 3 days since we did the last show, so that's good. But I did manage to upset some of my family today. I was talking on the phone to some of my family.
Okay.
Names will remain nameless.
All right.
But there were two sets
Hey,
of
Mr.
people.
Williams, how are you?
It was not him. Not him. But there were two sets of people in the room at the time. Two of which are family, and they hate Donald Trump. The other two are family, and they love Donald Trump.
Okay.
So all I did was ask a simple question, and all of a sudden the room blows up into an argument. I just have to hang up because I don't want to hear it anymore. So let me ask you a question I never really thought about.
Sure.
So there's another school shooting that happened the other day, and I mean it wasn't even with an assault-powered rifle, whatever they want to call these stupid things, whatever. It was no long gun. It was just a handgun, apparently. Whatever.
Right.
And immediately, though, the left is gun control. We got to get rid of guns. Guns are terrible. Gun violence is horrible. Get rid of all guns.
Right.
You realize when Trump was shot in the fucking head, not one person from the left got it in front of a podium and said, we need gun control to stop all this nonsense going on with guns. When there was a guy on Trump's golf course with an AK pointed at him, there was no call for gun control.
Well, those guys needed them, Seth. Violence. Those guys needed them because they were doing the government's mission.
All they said was, Trump deserved it. Trump asked for it. So they're hypocrites. They're assholes. Dude, how do you possibly sit there and say, oh, we got to get rid of all guns? Hell, they didn't even call for note for gun control when the guy got shot in the back. The CEO from United Healthcare.
Yeah, because they don't like that guy.
Guns are bad.
Look, anybody that doesn't think that lefties are okay with death to anybody that doesn't see it their way is delusional. Lefties like killing. They do. Look, how much gun control talk have you heard about that fucking the tranny that shot up the school the other day?
Yeah.
None.
Well, there's been
Because then there's very little. But they don't want to bring too much because then they got to bring their other bullet point to the table, which is yet again another fucking transgender person loses their shit and shoots up something.
So I got a message from Jake Underwood.
Yeah.
Our friend who was on the Kennedy campaign.
Right, sure.
And has met Donald Trump. And his quote to me was, he is certainly not crazy orange in person at all.
Okay.
So it is a TV thing that they do. But Matthew was a good try.
Well, no, I said it. I was the one.
I know, but he agreed. He said it should be orange juice. So.
No, the orange vodka joke was funny. Can we move off politics, or do you want to stay on politics?
Why do we have to move on to politics? I mean, it's Christmas time. Everything should revolve around politics. Real quick. Yes, we'll move off of politics. But
all right.
I wanted to tell you something. There was a band that I was listening to before the show, and I'd love to get somebody on from the band.
Okay.
If it's not a huge band, I don't think.
All right.
But
Who is it?
What stuff that I heard was like super duper awesome, dude.
Who is it?
State of Mind.
Well, let's look them up.
MINE.
YouTube. State of Mind, huh?
They appear to do like a lot of covers, dude. But they rock, dude.
Well, let's give them a listen here.
What are you gonna play? They do In the Air Tonight, which is really good.
Let's hear. Let's get it on here. We'll give the kids a taste. Let them see if they want it. And I'll look through my email, see if I've ever heard from them. Wow, they got a lot of followers. 420,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I want to fast forward. I don't want YouTube to kill them. What are the episodes?
Is all their stuff like this?
They do a version of the Danger Zone.
Check that out next. All right. Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad. And like I only heard like 2 songs. I don't know what the rest of their stuff is like.
I'm sure I could find them.
I know your buddy Jackie Lone down there.
Thunder Rolls, Garth Brooks.
Yeah, they do. I didn't listen to that one.
Well, let's give that a try.
But they do a lot of covers. I don't know what the deal is.
3:30 in the morning, not a soul in sight. The city's looking like a ghost town on a moonlit summer night. Raindrops on the windshield, there's a storm moving in.
Let's go.
Lives, but when she's not right, praying it's the weather that's kept him out all night. And the thunder rolls. And the thunder rolls. The thunder rolls.
All right.
And the lightning strikes. Another
like it better than Garth Brooks.
Like it better than what?
Garth Brooks. All right, see, this is how you know you got to get it, because Matthew says we vote no, so that means absolutely get them on the show.
Because we know everything that they vote for, we don't. So, yeah. Well, yeah. I'll look them up. I got 3 weeks to find them.
We turned God's Country into a metal song.
So what? We turned AI into our closing song, and that only took 10 seconds. These guys at least shot a video.
Fucking auto-tune, John Drake, because John knows how to sing.
He does. You throw him a song by the Outfielder, Aha, he's got it down.
He's all over that shit.
Josie's on vacation far away. I love fucking with him about the outfield, too, because it's the gayest song he sings, but he has to sing it at every gig because the people go crazy for it.
I've never heard him sing, dude.
He can sing. It fucking pisses me off, yes.
He's pretty good. Like, what do they do? Like, what kind of music does he do?
All over the map. I mean, it's rock. It's rock oriented, but they do. They'll take songs that don't fit and they'll make them like kind of like the Thunder Rolls here. You know, like they'll do the standard Zeppelin and that kind of stuff. Aerosmith. I don't know if they have any out there.
There has to be a video of John singing, and I must see it immediately.
It's going to make you mad because he can actually sing.
Look, I'm happy to give the guy credit.
I'm not. Fuck him.
Look, I give him credit for picking shitty fucking football games. You can't do that, but he can pick them wrong anyways. I give him credit for that.
Maybe the crickets will make his voice better.
What if we fuck up his entire band career by he eats crickets, gets one stuck in his throat, and has had surgically removed? And
look at John. No way I sing way gayer shit. He does. He and I had yeah, that's him. He and I had a Bruno Mars off at one point singing "When I Was Your Man" because we're both fags. But
I've sang one time out in public. It was karaoke. I sang twice in public. I sang karaoke New Kids on the Block, and which was horrible. And then I sang that Here She Is, Miss America song.
Yeah.
We did a pregnant bikini contest, and I sang Here She Is, Missed Period.
Nice.
And I had to do it in front of like a restaurant full of people.
So you won't do the karaoke, huh?
I'm not a karaoke guy now.
Dude, I'm all about it. I can, and John will tell you, me and John used to do it all the time, and Steph, and Stephanie, his wife, would never sing, but I always was able to find a way to get her to sing. And usually it was we would do like a Shania Twain song, and I would do the lines that were really chick parts. I would do like the real chicky parts of them or whatnot, But yeah, I'll sing anything. I don't care. Dude, there's been times that we were out at karaoke where I literally asked the bartender, I said, pick a song out of here and don't tell me it. And I just went up and sang Stone Cold Did Not Know. I just didn't know at all what she was picking and lucked into not being terrible. So
he says there's something about Man in a Box.
Man in the Box. Yeah, whatever. John will like this one because this is before he started
Matthew
eating.
does have another good text here.
Okay.
Make sure the crickets don't have eggs in when you eat them, or otherwise there could be an ER visit. What if they lay eggs inside his fucking stomach and stuff?
Maybe they have eggs already laid in their stomach. They could be dead pregnant crickets.
And that's what I'm saying. Then all of a sudden, John inseminates them, and he has crickets going around his stomach.
Wouldn't shock me if John just took the bag and started fucking it. All right, let's hear John sing.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord.
Turn the echo off, you fucking terrible sound guy. Hold on. You suck. Jesus. Enough echo on you there, John? Jesus Christ.
He's bitching about the auto-tune on the other band.
Yeah. Sounds like he's singing into the Grand Canyon. Holy smokes. All right, let's play a little more of this.
Can you feel it coming in here tonight?
Yeah, the echo. Wow.
Oh Lord,
That's a lot of echo.
oh Lord. Well, if you told me you were drowning,
This sounds like some of our broadcasts when we don't have good connections and it's just echoey.
Is he singing into his vagina? Is that why it's so echoey?
Could be. Let me see if I can't find that man in the box. Hopefully it doesn't have that much echo.
Jesus.
He can sing though. It
Yeah,
really
sounds
is.
like he can sing.
It's annoying. It's really annoying. All right, let's try this. See, that's annoying. See, that annoys me because he can sing.
He can't sing.
He can sing. Here, I'll play one more because he
Wait,
sent me
Matthew
one.
says this is not good at all. How about that, John?
Well, go listen to your lawnmower cut grass then, fucko.
I think it's pretty good, man. But he's
pretty
telling
good.
you to check your email.
Here you go. Here's John singing Crazy Train.
there it is, there it is.
Look at him. Hit him.
It really is like watching Ricky Gervais sing Ozzy, isn't it? All right, here we go.
Crazy, but that's how it goes. Millions of people living exposed. Maybe it's not too late to learn how to love and forget how to hate. Nigga won't die here. Who wants to bleed? I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Going off the rails on a crazy train.
See, he can sing. It really is
Matthew
annoying.
says, Matthew, I said I was wrong. The Alice in Chains cover was good.
Yeah, he can sing.
Yeah, you can, man. It makes
I
me
wish
kinda
he
mad.
sucked because God knows I would kill him if he did. But
Yeah, I know. I'd like to make fun of him, but like, does he play out a lot?
oh yeah, pretty much every weekend.
Really?
Just
Like
not
any-
here. He plays in Lima,
I was gonna say, where the hell does he play?
Lima, Finley, out there.
Oh, that sucks. Dude, just play a good places around here to go see music, and go ahead, play around here.
Yeah, but all those guys are from there.
So
And
what?
that band is actually very popular out there.
I'm sure they pay more around here.
I bet they don't. John could weigh in on that if he wants to, but I'm pretty positive that they make a killing out there doing that.
He looks like the lead singer from Rascal Flatts.
Or Blues Traveler.
Oh, man, I'll actually give him credit. That's pretty good. So.
Yeah, he can sing. It's annoying, but he
Good
can
shit.
sing.
Good shit. So we had a list of stuff you were going to talk about?
Well, why don't we do this since we're talking about John? Why don't we do the dog pound details, push that out the way?
Because the Browns suck and they're never going to win another game ever. And they won't have a quarterback for the foreseeable future.
DTR, baby. It's the turnaround.
You realize I heard somebody this morning say that the Browns should go after Kirk Cousins.
Stop it. Kirk Cousins is done.
He sucks too.
He's done. He's like Peyton Manning at the end of his career. Just throwing up wounded ducks.
Peyton Manning.
At the end of his career, Peyton Manning.
I'd take Peyton Manning with one leg over anybody we have or Kirk Cousins.
I don't know. Kirk Cousins, good quarterback. He was till he got hurt. But ever since he came back from that Achilles, now he's throwing wounded ducks everywhere. He does not have any zip on his passes at all this year. He's really not good, but well, there you go. He's playing with Billy Morris.
We're at the local.
Well, he'll have to tell us.
Yeah, because I'd go see that. What's going on with Billy?
I just talked to Billy this afternoon, and he has a lot going on, actually, most of which I cannot talk about on the air, but
Why not?
because it's his business shit.
Mr. Super Secret?
It's not so much super secret, but just, and it's not for this. I'll put it that way. Nobody wants their business things put out there, but he's got shit. He's got shit working. He asked me when we're going to come out there and do a podcast from there. And I was like, hey, we'll do it in the new year.
Yeah, pick a day when the weather doesn't suck, and I'm happy to go out there.
So May.
So we'll see you in June, Billy.
Yeah, can't wait for July 4th.
No, I'd go out there anytime, man. That would be great. I'd love to see the new place.
The local.
Right.
Yeah, we'll make that happen.
Save me a seat on that one, John. Give me a table. I'll pay for it, but just give
With
me a table.
handicap access.
I can't go to some of these places and stand for 2-3 hours, dude. So I need a table, John. I'll pay for it.
Can you get him a 3-legged table?
Fuck you.
Well, you could get one of those fire pits for me. Put me around a fire pit.
You and I will sit around your backyard one night on a 3-legged table and with a fire pit.
With a fire pit. Just getting fucked up and whining about our injuries. Oh, poor me. And even that wouldn't make me cry. It's just like, fuck, poor me, whatever. I didn't even mention it. Honestly, my 30th burn anniversary was on the 12th.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't even have remembered it except my mom sent me a text that said, happy burn anniversary. I did not remember it at all. I didn't remember.
Your mom say you that?
Yeah, my mom. Because I used to celebrate it. I will say that's one holiday that I used to celebrate. But I've gotten even more heartless to where I'm just like, whatever. I lived. Who gives a shit?
April 17th will be my 3-year.
3 year? You've come a long way in 3 years. Hell yeah.
3 years, dude.
You were a grumpy dick when you first were
Wasn't
going
I?
through it. Oh, boy.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I was going through some major mood
Of course.
swings when I was,
Yeah.
first came back. But
Well, you were, but so what? You were supposed to. I got news for you. Your whole life got turned upside down. Completely upside down.
yeah,
The dumbest, stupidest shit, getting out of bed and throwing a blanket off of you because you're hot,
yeah.
changed. And I'm trying to find the most random shit.
Well, the
The way you sit on a couch changed.
Everything. Yeah.
People can't even realize it unless it's literally said to them. They're like, oh yeah, how about that? Tell me if I'm wrong on this. When you first got hurt, before you got the fake leg, you got mad and probably threw a toothbrush at some point because you had to kind of reach up and over to brush your fucking teeth instead of being able to stand up in front of a sink and brush your fucking teeth.
Everything, yes, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. People don't when you've been through it, you get it. I get it. I've been through it. I remember sitting on my couch having to shit so bad and knowing that, or fighting with myself because it was going to hurt so bad to stand up because of the way the grafts were on me, and they would bend and stuff, and they weren't fully healed yet. So I would literally feel the grafts bending and stitches pulling and everything else. And I can remember sitting there, and Lord knows every one of us has had to shit but not been able to go and run to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Now multiply that by how long do you sit there before you shit yourself because you know you're going to put yourself in immense pain.
Dude, for the first 3 months, I forgot out of the hospital because I didn't have a leg. I couldn't even get a prosthetic.
Right.
Because everything was still healing down there. And so for the first 3 months, if I went somewhere with my wife,
yeah,
and say we went down to the Cuyahoga Falls or something like that to a festival or whatever it was, I couldn't, if I had to take a shit or something like that, we had to go home.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get a wheelchair sometimes or even know how to use and transfer myself from the wheelchair to a fucking toilet back then.
Yeah.
There were times where I had to take a piss and I had to use a bottle in the fucking car because there was no way for me to get in and out quick enough to fucking go to the restroom.
Yeah.
So yeah, your life does change. And so you do remember those days. April 17th will be 3 years.
And the thing is when you're going through it, you're angry about it.
Of course.
Because you spent the whole rest of your life going, you never even thought twice about brushing your fucking teeth or standing in the shower or, you know, something being too high in the refrigerator to get.
Yeah.
You know, you never thought about that kind of shit. Dude, one of the things I wrote about in my book was about opening a can of soup. I was fucking hungry, and I went to open a can of soup, and my hands, because they had to reattach the tendons in them and they just weren't strong, fucking, I couldn't. I didn't have an electric can opener. I had to just, this kind, whatever that's called, a twist. I couldn't puncture the can, and then I finally found a way to slam my arm on it to puncture the can, and then I couldn't turn the fucking key to open the can of soup. It's a can of soup.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about wanting to just take that can and throw it through a window. You know, you're just like, what is this? I can't open a fucking can of soup. I'm useless.
Dude, my wife left for work one day and she didn't leave any of the dishes out. So I couldn't get up to the dishes were in the cupboard because they were in the higher cabinets.
Right.
And I couldn't get up there to get a fucking dish to make something to eat. And I couldn't reach the microwave either. I'm sitting there like
that's what I'm saying. It's
a fucking dumbass. I ended up having to order a sub for like $30.
Right.
Delivered.
But people don't understand that when you talk about it. And people probably, and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but I'd imagine a lot of people distanced themselves from you because you were fucking angry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but there's a reason you were angry. It wasn't just, well, you know, shit happened. You know, wasn't like, well, I had a bad day at work. You know, you had to fucking readjust your entire life. Where now, I bet you still have your moments. 3 years, less than 3 years.
Yeah, I mean,
I still had moments for a decade.
Dude, every night. I mean, I must have to get up and go to the fucking bathroom 2-3 times a night in the middle of the night.
Sure.
Man, just go take a piss, dude. And I get up and I have to get into a wheelchair because I have no leg on.
Right.
And you look down and you just see there's nothing fucking there below your knee.
Well, you were always doing that.
But I mean, but a little bit more to the right.
Right.
And you sit there and you're staring at this blank space, and my brain still goes, what the fuck, dude? What did I do? How did this happen?
Yeah.
And it makes you sad, dude. It makes you pissed. It's like,
hell yeah.
I can't even just get up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then I gotta, you're tired, you want to go back to sleep, but now I gotta wheel the chair all the way around to get to the legs. And I gotta put shoes on because I have this paranoia now about stepping on something
Slipping.
like I did the last time and have my other foot chopped off.
Sure.
And so I put a leg on, I got to put shoes on, I got to get myself to the bathroom, then I got to do the whole process over again to get back into bed.
Right.
And by that time, then you're sitting going, I'm awake.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do?
Yeah. No, dude, it is. When people say that this shit is life-changing, it really is life-changing. It changes every aspect of everything that you do. Everything. And it takes, like I said, dude, it took me 10 years before I just stopped completely caring about this or that. And, I didn't go see fireworks for 10 fucking years. I had little kids. I mean, my kids my daughter was 3, the boys were 18 months, when I got hurt. And I didn't go to see fireworks for 10 years. What kind of stress do you think that put on a relationship?
Yeah.
Telling the wife, I'm not going. I'm afraid of sound. She didn't get it. She was because I'm a fairly rough and tough guy, but I would hear those fucking fireworks and I'd be staring at the molten metal again in my head, hitting me everywhere.
Dude, there are certain things like concerts and stuff like that I've avoided. If I go to certain places like MGM, it's fine. It's an easy place for me to get around. But there's concerts that been like at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse and stuff that I've avoided because I don't know how I'm going to get around easily enough to get to a seat, into a seat, or anything else.
Yeah, I imagine a Browns game is completely out of the question.
Well, yeah. I mean, I almost have to get aisle seats now because if I have to try to climb over people, I could fall over the front, I could fall over the back, or I'm going to trip on somebody because I can't feel the other leg. I mean, so I purposely have avoided certain things that I really want to go do.
Sure.
Because of that. Anytime I go to the movies, I'm getting like a first or second row seat. I can go up a few stairs, whatever, and I'm getting right on the aisle because I just can't do it any other way.
And you're waiting until everybody leaves.
I wait every time. I'm waiting until everybody's out of the theater because otherwise I'm standing in people's way trying to get down the stairs and out. And it's pain in the ass.
Yeah,
there are things that make me really sad to this day. And the toughest part is that like I try my damnedest, if not all the time, but most of the time, to not let my wife or my daughter know how rough it really is.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to come off as that pussy that can't handle it. Because for the most part, I think I handle things pretty well.
Sure.
But there are times where I want to seriously go do some stuff. And I don't because it holds me back.
Because it's a hassle.
Look, I want to go to Cedar Point.
Okay.
I went to Disney and stuff like that last June, and it was fine because I don't know anybody there. So I got myself a little scooter thing, and I'm roaming around the fucking park. And I don't care what people think of me because, I don't know them. But if I go to Cedar Point, there's no doubt that I'm going to see people that I know
right.
or, that watch this show or know me from Crib Show or whatever it is. And I'm going to be going around on some fucking scooter looking like an asshole. I don't want to do that. I don't want to look like that. But I can't walk the entire thing.
Fucking John.
What do you say?
Oh, there it is. Seth, you could have avoided all this by not chopping your leg off. You really didn't think this one through.
I didn't. That's totally accurate.
Goddamn axe.
And to be fair, John, I was in a coma when they made me sign the papers to chop it off. So I'm pretty sure my wife is responsible.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
I mean, if my wife didn't chop off my leg, I'd be dead today.
Yeah.
So she didn't sign those papers. She saved my life.
And I told you my story. I told my ex if I woke up and I did wake up without an arm, I was going to make her life fucking miserable. I would have stumped her to death.
Yeah, well, my wife saved my life by doing what she did. Because if she didn't, I wouldn't be here doing the show right now.
And believe me, dude, you can't appreciate that enough. I mean, I'm obviously split up from my wife now, but you don't hear me say a lot of bad shit like most people do about their ex-wife. Because for that reason. Because she stayed when I was really fucked up. And quite honestly, she should have left. I'm going to be as straight up as I can be. I don't know that I do the same courtesy. I like to think that I would, but I can't promise that I would. I would have some thought in my head of leaving. I would.
Well.
It's just being honest. You know, it's not it's not what you signed on for.
Well, believe me, I know. I mean, I dated a girl that had some health issues, and I got engaged to her. And then all of a sudden, I was like, I was really young at the time, and it might have been just me being selfish, but I figured I couldn't handle it. I couldn't handle all the stuff that was going to go on with it. And now, maybe I'm paying for it now. Maybe that's why God did what He did to me. But
yeah, I do that sometimes too. I definitely do that. What did I do that was so bad? And then I remember things that I did, and I kind of weigh them out, and I try to say, well, maybe not one individual thing, but if you put these 10 together, I guess that does earn getting fried.
Yeah, I guess I deserve the chopping of the leg.
I guess breaking up marriages, yeah, that does do it.
But the problem is that then I continue to go through some shit because I got some other health issues that I deal with.
Sure.
And you sit there and go, all right, come on. Didn't I pay enough of a fucking price already?
Yep.
Can't you just leave me the fuck alone already? Yeah. Like, I mean, seriously, like the leg wasn't enough. We got to continue with more shit. Can we stop for a little while?
Yeah. Well, I know I went through that maybe 7 years ago when my son came up with cancer. My son ended up having non-Hodgkin's lymphoma when he was 23 or whatever he was, 23, 24 years old. And I definitely had a fuck you, God year where I was just like, because by that point, I was fine with bring it on, do it to me. I don't care what it is. Yeah. So it was almost like, it was like I was playing this game with God, and God moved the chess piece just a little bit further and said, okay, well, if I can't fuck with you, then I'll fuck with your family and see if that fucks with you. And I really, really got into a very dark place. You think I'm in a dark place now. I was in a very dark place when my kid was going through cancer.
I can only imagine. I mean, that's got to be one of the toughest things of all time.
That was not easy. It was way easier getting through my burn accident. Way easier.
I certainly don't think that you're in a dark place. I hope you know that. I think that you're
I know. You're just fucking with me. I know.
Pretty entertaining. I mean, that's... Hey, Seth, do you remember Little Triv on WRW? I interviewed you. We turned Little Triv into a new character and made the TV show. Someone bought it called Little Lion's Den. Dude, those guys were awesome. They had this show. It was just like the Triv show. They had all these characters based on Triv people, like Triv.
Nice.
Characters on his show. And it was awesome. They did interview me, and good dudes. I have to check that out. Little Lions.
Have them on the show. We'll promote it.
Yeah. Email me or something. No, like, do something. Facebook message me and tell me where I can find it and how I can get a hold of you.
Absolutely. We'll have them on. We'll share some clips. Why not?
Let the hospital let you keep the leg. I asked, actually, because I had over $1,000 worth of artwork on that leg.
Yeah.
From tattoos and stuff. And I wanted to know if I could just take the skin and frame it or something like that, but apparently that's not good. They burn it and toss it somewhere.
Yeah, dude, when I was doing my book, I fought with the hospital tooth and nail because I wanted the pictures of me fried.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't give them to me. They just were like, no, you can't have them. I have a few. I've put a few on Facebook before, and people are just like, holy shit. Some of them are really, really, I'm looking to see if I can't find one real quick, but they're really, really good. They look like a dead guy's hand. There's one of my hand that's just black, like completely black from burn, because it's just a mess. My problem.
Yeah, I don't know what I definitely did. I swear to God, I asked about the leg, but from what I understand, there wasn't a whole lot of it.
Yeah, probably not.
It looked normal by the end of everything.
Yeah, well, but they might. There's nothing that says they cut it off in one piece either.
Right. I don't know how that actually works.
No.
Well, I know they didn't because I had to have another surgery after the original one.
Right.
Because the original one, they just took off enough of where the infection had spread.
Okay.
Like wherever that was going, and so then to shape it out to actually get me ready for like a prosthetic, I had to go in and get more cut off, which is not a good thing when you're being wheeled down or going, yeah, see that stump that you have down there? Yeah, you're gonna have less of it when you wake up in a couple hours.
Yeah. Take a nap, and when you wake up, there'll be far less than there is now. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Can't wait.
Appreciate that one.
Can't wait for that. Yeah, I'm not finding this picture quickly.
Lost my stepson in 2009 to cancer.
Fuck that. I'd
I'd rather-
rather
I can't imagine.
die than bury one of my own. No way. That's the only thing I don't think I could live through. Honestly.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't think I could toughen up. Do you?
No.
I don't think I could do it. I think
I don't think I could.
that is the line for me, is where I stop being tough and I fucking put that judge to better use.
What's the story about with the burns? My first time watching the show.
I was working a steel mill and the furnace blew up. 7 tons of molten metal. That's the story. And you can read all about it at Call Me Chris over there on Amazon. It's a wonderful read. It's a very happy story.
Just in time for Christmas.
That's right. In case you need that special Christmas gift, nothing says love like Call Me Chris, a book by me.
When you're sitting there at night in this cold Cleveland winter by your roaring fire in the fireplace, you can read Call Me Chris about the...
That's right. Just think about if your whole house was on fire and you couldn't get out. There it is. It's a wonderful book. I can't find this photo. God damn it. I wish. Oh, wait a minute. Here's one. Yeah, here we go. This is a before and after.
Oh, God.
Strap in.
Holy shit, dude.
Ouch.
We're going to get flagged for this one.
Why? It's me. I can show a picture of myself, can't I?
Violence. Oh, my God, dude. You're
That's a picture of
lucky to
me.
be here. You're lucky to be here, my friend.
Looks like somebody just slapped some barbecue sauce on it. It's wonderful. Was that bad?
It's crazy when I see something like that because, you can say all the things you want to say about what happened to you, but you don't really, you don't get a good image of it until you see something like that.
Till you actually see it.
Image of it. But, you got to think, and I try to think about it this way too, that maybe there is a reason why you were here.
Oh, yeah.
Why God kept you around. And, I'm a firm believer in God and everything else. And as you know, and I don't know, we've talked about it some, and I think you have at least some beliefs.
I do. Absolutely do.
So, for me, I look at you as, look, I hate the word savior is obviously meant for the big one. But to me, you were kept around here to get me through one of the toughest parts of my life, dude. Which you did. You, my dog, my wife, and my daughter, my family and stuff. But you helped me when I had no job, couldn't get out of a fucking chair. Not only did you help guide me through the disaster it was the original version of this show, but then you were able to step in and do what we do today, which makes me happy every time I come up the stairs.
Here, do you think this hurt?
Holy shit, dude.
Think that one hurt?
Yeah, a little bit.
Ouch!
Yeah. So I think there's a reason. There's a reason why we go through the things we go through and how it works out.
Sure. Well, you do, dude. I mean, look. I mean, believe me, I definitely know that I've beaten every odd that there was to beat. And I think that's what I'm here to prove, is to prove that that you can, and what I try to do, and I'm gonna strip away the tough guy image for a minute, but I try very hard to spread that message to other people that no matter what you're going through, you can get through it, because somebody's been through worse. Somebody somewhere has been through worse.
Oh yeah, and I even think about that all the time when I start to get down about my leg. I'm sitting there going, dude, there are people that are going through a lot worse than losing a fucking leg, dude.
Sure.
I mean, I feel like Habu up there lost his kid, right? Was it Marcus, I think.
Yeah, that's brutal.
He lost his kid. And so, I mean,
I
Look,
would take that. I would take that 15 times before I would lose a kid.
That's terrible. Looks like the turkey I made for
That's
Thanksgiving.
what I'm saying. It does, doesn't it? Looks tasty. Other than this blister down here, this heat blister. Look at all the blisters and shit all over that. Ooh, brutal.
Yeah, I mean, anytime I think about my leg and stuff, I think of people like, one, yourself, and then two, somebody like Marcus. And
Sure.
my heart goes out to them.
Absolutely.
I'm living through, at times it sucks, but there's people out there with a lot worse than what I got.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I got good friends. I got a good family. I like what I do.
Well, and the thing is, and you don't ever talk about it. I'll talk about it. You made it to the other side. And that's big. There's a lot of people that don't. A lot of people that just don't. They get hurt and they never come back.
Well, I couldn't let that happen. I mean, I got a family.
I couldn't either, but well, that doesn't seem, dude, I tell this story a lot, but it's kind of appropriate. So I got kicked out of support group, burn support group. I got kicked out after about a month. Of course I did, exactly. But I was in the support group. We used to have the support group was like we on Thursdays we did what they called show and tell, where you would show up on a Thursday and what's that question? I didn't. I was in a coma and they did it all for me. I woke up and that was all pretty much done. So I never had to do that. But anyway, so the show and tell was Thursday afternoon, 1:00. So they had this support group at 11 o'clock in the morning for an hour, and then they would give you a free lunch. So I was like, I was destitute, broke at that point. I had no job. I wasn't working. I was, I could barely function. I could barely move. So I'm at burn support group, right? And I'm in there. And for the guy that doesn't know the story, I was 69% burned, 52% with grafts, 3rd degree with grafts. So I burned up pretty good. And I'm in this support group and I'm sitting there and there's 15 other burn Vics around the table. And there's this one black guy and he was working on a roofing, and he slipped and he fell and his arm went down into a bucket of tar, hot thing of tar.
Yeah.
He didn't lose his arm, didn't lose any fingers. All he lost, he got like 1st, 2nd degree burns, and he lost the pigment in his hand. Like he had, it was funny looking kind of, because he did have one white hand and one black hand.
Yeah.
It was kind of goofy looking. This guy was whining like his life was fucking over. And I'm sitting there and he just wouldn't stop me. I can't do this and I can't. And I was like, would you shut the fuck up? I was like, everybody in here's been through worse than you. Stop with your whining, you bitch. And me, I was like, you need to leave. And I did. I got kicked out of support group. But I never had that attitude. I just never had, let me settle into my life as a victim. Like I said, the anniversary of it was last week, and I just plain forgot about it.
See, like
it's not even important to me.
When I was in the hospital, they never put me with anybody that was like me.
Like I was on some floor for my rehab stuff.
Sure.
I was on a floor with head trauma people. So they couldn't even talk to me.
So they were exactly like you.
Yeah, they're exactly like me. It was so fucked up too, because they had me putting together puzzles that were for 3rd graders, dude.
Right.
I didn't hit my head. I lost my fucking leg. But so nobody on my floor I could actually talk to.
Right.
They didn't have any kind of support group for me to go to with people that lost their fucking leg. So I'm sitting there just by myself, not knowing what the hell is going to happen when I get home or what I'm supposed to do. But I didn't, I was just happy to be alive, dude.
Sure. Have you done any support group stuff after?
No.
Or no?
Somebody asked me to speak at one. I told them I'd be happy to, and then I never heard back from them.
Yeah, I don't know. Support group. I don't want to say nothing bad about them, because I know they do help people, and that's great. And, anybody that needs help should obviously get help. But I don't know, man. I'm from the old school. I like to just toughen up.
I got was going to rehab one day. This is when I was home and everything, but I still had to go to rehab like twice a week. So I just learn how to, do everything again, walk,
Right.
get in and out of chairs and all that kind of shit. So it was, I had to go up to Metro to where the rehab center was. And I was leaving for the day and I saw this guy. He was a bigger dude, not big he was a muscular guy, but
Okay.
and he's in a wheelchair and he looked just like me, dude.
Right.
But he had a missing leg and same missing leg that I was in or had. And he was wheeling himself up and down this hallway that I had to do the same thing. They have like a ramp down there. They go up and down, up and down.
Sure.
And he was sweating and crying, dude. And I remember I just went up to him and I was like, "Hey, man, you're gonna be all right."
Sure.
I was like, "This part does suck." I was like, "But you hang in there and you do what you got to do, and you're gonna be walking in and out of here doing your rehab, and then you're gonna be at home walking in and out all over the place, and you're gonna be all right."
Right.
And just the look on his face made me feel good because, and I would like to provide that kind of encouragement to people because I've seen some people that, like you said, just kind of give up after it happens. And you shouldn't. I mean, you shouldn't just give up. I mean,
I used to go over to the hospital pretty on the regular and visit with Burn Vicks, and again, didn't make a whole lot of noise about it or anything. I just used to do it. And it's weird because you end up seeing patterns. There's such a pattern to it. And literally I did enough of them to where I would walk in a room and I could tell from the first words where this person was. If they were a week in, 2 weeks in, 5 weeks in, 6 months in, wherever they were, I could tell immediately. I knew where you were when the day, and I'll tell you the day it was. Me, you, and Mike went and had lunch at the Quaker Steak.
yep.
And to try and plot out this show. And you were fucking vicious mad. And you were mad about something stupid. You were like, "Oh, they don't have the right fucking flavor turkey," or something, You were like pissed off about it. I was like, and Mike looked at me all cross-eyed, and I just looked at him. I was like, "Yeah, he's fucking fresh in. He's gonna be pissed off about everything. It'll pass." I sort of knew.
Back then it was embarrassing getting in because you're not used to being like that. I'm used to being normal, and especially when you're doing like the radio thing, that you walk in and you're the guy that people are going, "Hey, how you doing?" And now I'm the guy that's asking for help with everything, and I'm getting in a fucking wheelchair trying to push up to a table, and it was tough.
Yeah, it is tough.
Easy.
It's tough. I don't think anybody's going to tell you it's easy, but you just find your way through. I guarantee you're a lot less stressed about it now than you were when you first started over there with Bob.
And then of course. And then you got to remember too, at that time, like when I was meeting you and Mike, I had also quit drinking and smoking, dude.
Yeah.
And
walking and living and everything else.
Let me just tell you, dude, when you quit smoking and quit drinking, and that was a big part of my life, dude.
Sure.
It was it was tough to do that without cold turkey, and to be able to just stop and not even. It was
Yeah,
it was a lot at once.
Yeah, well, dude, I get it, and I get the drink. I really never had the smoke problem, but the drinking, I wasn't allowed to drink. I was so close to death that I was not allowed to drink. Like they were like, if I drink one drink, I'm gonna have a problem for like a year. And that was killer. I was a guy that used to drink to pass outville regularly.
Dude, I was a heavy smoker, dude. And I mean, I'm talking about pack and a half at least a day.
Right. Ooh.
And I remember in the rehab facility, the nurse goes, "Look, I see that you were a smoker. It's like, look, if we're going to do it, just don't let me catch you doing it."
Right.
Go outside, wheel away from the building. And I was like, I'm not going to smoke. Then I didn't, and I haven't since.
Yeah, and that's good. You don't need it. It's just a filthy, expensive habit. More on the expensive than the filthy part.
My favorite memory of Seth being in the hospital is when we would go outside and nurses would come looking for us. We'd run away. That's true. I don't know what they thought I was gonna do. Like jump in the back of his fucking trunk or something. He was gonna like steal me from the hospital. But we'd go outside. We're just hanging out, talking, and because I didn't have anybody coming up there a whole lot.
Sure.
My wife was working. My daughter's in school. My family had all gone back to where they lived, so I was up there a lot by myself.
Yeah.
And so Jake would come by and he would hang out with me. We'd go outside and talk for a couple hours, and the nurses would come down looking for us.
Sure.
The fuck do you think we went?
Yeah, and you have those inane conversations with the nurses about nothing, but you just want somebody to be there to talk to, so you'll talk to them about whatever.
Dude, I thought I was going insane. Like I had nurses that I thought were going to kill me overnight. Like I didn't know what to, like. There was one time they wanted to move me to a different floor, and I was like, "Why do they want to move me to a different?" They're not going to let me out of here. I called Dennis Kucinich, right? Like Dennis Kucinich, big time politician guy, and I called him and I said, "Look, I don't think they're going to let me out of this hospital." I was like, it could be me being paranoid. I don't know what's going to happen. I was like, but if they don't let me out of here, can I call you and you'll get me out of here? And thank God for Dennis Kucinich was like the greatest guy ever when I was in the hospital. He's like, I'll take care of you. Don't worry. You can leave when you want to leave. I was like,
right. That's funny.
It was but it's a scary experience. How far could Seth have gotten anyways? It wasn't like his dude, you're a dick. I'm gonna shove my leg up your fucking ass and see if you can still sing there, John. Not gonna be much of a show on January 3rd. We got a prosthetic stick on every butt.
He'll use it as a stool. Figuratively, literally.
Yeah. All right, so it's time to stop talking misery.
All right.
At least for a little bit. We have Tony Masaccio on the line.
All right. Awesome.
We could say goodbye to him.
I thought Tony hated us.
So did I. Let's bring him on and ask him. We still got to play Dog Pound Details, too.
Yeah, we'll do that. We still got 45 minutes.
All right. Tony Masaccio, how are you, my friend?
I am good. Chris, how do I hate you guys?
We did. Well, you just done disappeared on us. We thought you moved on to better places.
Oh, no. I've just been crazy on my Wednesday afternoons. I apologize. And again, I'm not getting paid.
Now there's that.
Neither are we.
Neither are we. So
yeah, we got to figure this out, guys. We got to increase this audience, and I'll get paid.
Well, that's not the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is getting paid.
Yeah. So my Saturday morning, guess what? I'll be on the air for 11 years.
Wow.
On 1490 WRE. Yeah, it'll be 11 years in July, and guess what? You know how I get paid? By food.
There you go.
That's good.
That's it. I'm like the guy in the ramp. We'll work for food. Well, that's me. Yeah. So
yeah, but it's not McDonald's, Tony. It's really good food.
It's really good food. You're right, Chris. And you know what? It's interesting. And you know what? Again, it's not my livelihood. It's like this with you guys. It's fun. You know what I mean? We meet some great people, and I have fun doing this. And of course, I feature some great restaurants. So Ed Flash Farron just sent me this in the mail.
Oh, wow.
Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
So it's their first edition of the Buzzard, where it has a lot of history from when these guys first started in the 1973, I believe they first got on the air.
Wow.
Jeff and Flash. Yeah, it's cool. So of course, I'm sure he got that for free, and he sent it to me. Merry Christmas. I'm waiting for my 8 Hanukkah gifts.
Who's writing that? Who wrote that book?
Actually, so David Hilton is the artist, and John Gorman, who is yeah. So it's the whole history of when they were the Buzzard.
Because there was another book. Do you remember Michael Shesky?
I remember him As a matter of fact, he used to be my neighbor in Bedford many years ago. Yeah,
love him, and he actually wrote a Buzzard book back in the day too. And it was really good too.
Were you in it, Seth? Were you mentioning?
I was. I think I might have been mentioned briefly, like a name, because I was there when he wrote the book, and I was there for 10 years on that damn station. But
when did you get on?
98.
Okay.
So, what?
No, go ahead.
It was just after they had Liz Wilde on doing the morning show back in the day. It was supposed to be like the female version of Howard Stern.
Yes.
And she wasn't that good.
Yeah.
And then it was like 9 different morning shows after that. I was on all of them. The Danny, Darla, and Corey show.
Yes.
Danny Chekalinsky, which actually was really good and a lot of fun. But they never gave a morning show a chance over there after Jeff and Flash. They just got rid of everybody.
What was the demise of WMMS?
The demise of WMMS was a couple of program directors that had no idea what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
And then they were fucking with people by saying they were going to get rid of the buzzard. And they did this long campaign about the buzzards going away, which was just terrible because people didn't like that.
Yeah.
And so it pushed people away. So when you have no morning show because they never gave one a chance, and then you're saying the buzzard's going away, which was all a gimmick, and they were just screwing with people, it made the station bad, and nobody liked it.
And the other part of it, which I think is still a problem now, there's too much talk on it. People want it. People want MMS to rock.
You're right.
They just want to rock. You got other stations that you could put for the talk.
And I agree with you, Chris. I mean, FM shouldn't have that. You know, it was known just like WNCX, which was the spinoff of WMMS, and look at where it's become. I mean, it's really the only rock and roll station that's in Cleveland right now. But I agree with you. You know, again, Alan Cox, I mean, he's good at what but I can only listen to that guy for about 10 minutes. I mean, it's not great talk radio.
And now they got rid of his sidekicks. So now it's just Alan talking.
Yep.
It's the only thing it is. And I feel bad for him because that's tough to do.
That is tough.
And
he has no more sidekicks. I did not know that. Wow.
They got rid of Bill Squire and they got rid of that Mary Santorum or whatever. And
okay.
So he's just by himself. And it's not the same. And it's tough for him to do.
And MMS itself, just, I mean, if you just forget who it is, I mean, Alan Cox is what, 3 hours, 4 hours, right?
4, I think. Yeah.
4. Rover's 5. That's 9 hours a day of talk.
Yeah.
That's too much for Cleveland. We need Michael Stanley songs and Korn and whatever. You know,
and the other shows that they have are just piped in DJs. I mean, it doesn't. A guy who lives in Canton is going to do Cleveland stuff, and it's not good. It's just
and Rover syndicated, is he not nationally?
I think to some smaller markets, yeah, but
okay.
So I mean, but he does Cleveland centric stuff. So
okay,
but I mean, yeah, the station took a nosedive for a long time.
That's a shame.
It really is.
So that was 50 years ago. I am going to be 64 at the end of this month. So I am 13, 14 years old. Listening to Jeff and Flash in the morning, and 1 out of 4 people listened to them in that era. Chris, Seth, can you believe that? I mean, there was no other radio station.
No,
they brought in David Bowie. They brought in Alice Cooper. Every new song that came through Cleveland or throughout the nation, for that matter, was played on that station, and it was fun. I
went to Niagara Falls when I got married the first time. And I was wearing an MMS shirt, and I got at least a dozen people came up to me and were like, "Dude, MMS, love it." I mean, at one point during the time that I was there, I was the most recognizable DJ that they had on the station.
Sure.
And which shows how bad their morning shows were because none of them were recognizable.
Yeah.
And so it was cool, but everybody knew MMS. I went on vacation to the Dominican. I came back, and I had coconut with me and a machete. It was in my carry-on bag, and I brought it back from the Dominican, and I had my MMS jacket on when I got to the airport and the guy goes, he pulls his machete out of the bag and a coconut. He was like, "Dude, you can't bring this stuff on." And I was like, and he looks at my coat. He's like, "MMS," and he looked at my ID and he goes, "Are you Seth the Barbarian?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude, fucking put this shit back in your bag and get the hell out of here."
So
because it was in Cincinnati that I flew into with that stuff.
Sure.
That is funny.
People just knew and respected the hell out of that station. Now I think it's totally different.
Well, and not only is it totally different, but it has had a huge effect on the community. Because look, now we don't get any shows. One of the reasons we got so many shows back then was because we had arguably the number one station in the country promoting them.
Yes.
So now everything goes to Detroit or Columbus, but it does not come to Cleveland. Almost nothing comes to Cleveland.
I remember there were many nights when I had record guys that were standing outside for me to go on the air at midnight, and they would hand me the new Motley Crue track or the new Godsmack track, and I was the first one to play it because it was overnight. I started at midnight, and they were outside the building waiting to hand me records to play. And now, I mean, it's a crap now.
Yeah.
But look who leads it. I mean, I can.
Right.
And again, I went to the Rolling Stones at concert just recently, and of course it was packed. There were all people my age and even grandchildren. The kid, they're my age, their children bringing their kids. And once they're gone, I mean, they're not going to have that. The Billy Joel, the Rod Stewarts, there's bands that are defunct. The Pink Floyds, the Led Zeppelins.
Yeah,
it's done. It's a shame. Rock and roll is going to go away. I mean, obviously, you'll still be able to listen to it, but what kind of concert do you want to go see nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting more and more to the club level. I mean, even the biggest bands there's still big bands that, Limp Bizkit is still very big. They'll still sell her Korn or, but even those bands, when you think about them, they're mid-90s. That's when they came out. You ask anybody who's the biggest rock band of the 2000s that debuted after 2000, can you name one?
Yeah, you're right.
That's sad, man.
And you know what? And again, I mean, that, like you said, here you have these venues, which you have, Jacob's Pavilion, you have, multiple now where they're splitting the profits, where it used to be the Coliseum. That's where you went. You saw everybody there, and I saw concerts for $13.
Of course, yeah.
The economy is going to kill it. It's a different. Well, getting back, and again, my point is, where WMMS had it, not only were they wonderful in this area in Northeastern Ohio, they copied it. People copied Jeff and Flash across the country to get that morning drive like they had it. It was unbelievable. Flash was telling me a story where they had a ton of T-shirts, and they were actually with Daffy Dan at the time. So that's what they brought. They put Daffy Dan on the map.
Oh, yeah.
They gave away T-shirts every day with WMS on it, with the DD on the sleeve. So they had something like 200 extra T-shirts, and they were printing new ones. So they put them in the WMS van, and they mentioned which high school they were going to go to. So they drove to this high school. The kids were coming out of classes. They were in the parking lot. They ran out of shirts, and they're rocking the van. It was like a riot trying to get T-shirts.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
It is.
Well, people used to, the DJs were a huge deal. Jeff and Flash, obviously. I can remember when I was young, I was maybe 12, 13 years old, and my mom took me to it was like a meet and greet thing for Jeff and Flash. And they were selling, I still have it somewhere. I don't remember what it's called. It was like the Best of Mr. Leonard tape.
Yeah.
It was a cassette. And I still have it. It's probably from 1982 or something. But I mean, they were rock stars. They were, I remember we were standing outside a record store for hours to meet Jeff and Flash, not to meet, I don't know, Motley Crue or the Rolling Stones, but to meet Jeff and Flash, just two guys.
Mr. Leonard.
Mr. Leonard.
Jeff, Flash, I'm not going to make it in this morning. I got air coming out of my asshole.
Remember Len Boom Boom Goldberg?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So I started when I was an intern and stuff. I started doing pulling his records and stuff for Sunday mornings when he would do his show. And then I became, full time, whatever. And he wanted me to stay on with him and run his board and stuff like that. And then eventually he changed his show from Boom in the morning to Boom and the Barbarian in the morning on Sundays. So we became an hour show kind of thing. The guy was at my wedding. He actually bought me stuff for my daughter's, when she was born, and then he passed away, unfortunately, before you got to meet her. But it was like the fucking best. And the fact that a legend like that became a friend to me,
I know.
Sure.
It was like the greatest thing for me. It made me so happy that I got to work, when I think about it, with Boom, who was a legend in this town, and then Triv, who was a legend in this fucking town. So I got to work and be mentored, or whatever you want to call it, by two of the best. And it's a great feeling. But
Yeah, and right back at you. I mean, I was with, a caller on Triv, and now I'm with Ed Flash Ferentz. I pinch myself every Saturday morning doing this show. And again, I just kid that I'm not making any money, but it's just the prestige of doing this.
Sure.
And I've always wanted to do this, and now I'm doing it. I mean, on a Saturday morning, and I'm becoming popular. It's like, it's funny. We gave away a $250 gift certificate for the holidays to Corleone's. So we had 125 people text in. The phone blew up.
Nice.
We were stopping the calls coming in, and it goes to show you, we have a nice listening audience because of him.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. And now I get to work with Bob France, and Bob France has been around for decades, done radio all over the country, fills in nationally for, big time radio hosts and stuff across the country, and. So he's another one. I've been really lucky to work with the people that I've worked with, for the past 6 years of my life doing radio.
Good for you.
So it's cool, and I wish I would make more money doing it.
Yeah,
so is everybody.
But still, I mean, it's an honor to be able to do it. I love what I do.
Sure.
I wish that MMS would have kept me longer than they did, and I wish it would have been the station wouldn't have sucked. But management, Triv always says, management is going to be the death. Sales and management is going to be the death of radio. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Big radio, the people that run these stations now, the majority of them, especially over there, don't know radio.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you don't know how to do radio, you do bad radio, or you don't know radio at all, then it's tough to keep the radio station going the way that it should. And it's sad.
That's right.
And I laugh that you listen to radio stations, and then they're advertising a program. Listen to Channel 3 or Channel 5 at this particular time, which you're taking away that listening audience, or even like a podcast. You know what I mean? And again, like I said, I mean, WMMS was the only thing that we listened to when we were in our teens and our 20s and 30s. So it was like having 3, 5, 8, 61, and 43 for television stations. Now you have 1,000 stations in cable. Well, guess what? You're competing on that same hour.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got to advertise, and the advertisers have to, keep it alive. Because when cable first came out, there was no advertising. That was its key.
Right.
That was its means of staying in business. And then they thought, you know what? We're already getting $10 a month. I laugh at that. 1979. Now it's $200 a month for those who have it. And there's advertising. It's like, it was like having Sirius Radio or XM.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, and everyone, a lot of people are doing a podcast, which, and again, I've listened to some podcasts. You listen to them for a minute because there's no content.
Right.
Which is a shame.
Kind of like this one. But
no, this is good. You know what? We're talking about a subject. You know what I mean? Just like when I talk about the restaurants that I go to, we're featuring something.
Yeah.
So,
like I do this, as Triv always used to say, I do this show for me.
Yeah.
Hope that some people out there enjoy it. I mean, it's
what? And I agree with you, Seth, because I love being on the air with Flash because it's like two guys talking to each other and we have no idea who's listening. And you know what? I just love his laugh. So I tell him, all the time, I just want to hear your laugh.
Nice.
He's got one of the greatest voices in radio.
Yeah. And as I had said, I am just happy to be with them.
Right on.
So.
All right. Well, now that we're done kissing each other asses.
That's right.
A great Hanukkah and Christmas for you.
You also. And guys, who's ever listening, and for you, make sure that you go out to eat at every local restaurant. Make sure you support them. And there are only 6 people who care about how much you weigh in this world. It's the 6 pallbearers at your funeral. I love you guys.
You too, Tony.
I'll
see you in a few weeks.
And I will start coming more Wednesdays.
All right. Sounds good, Tony.
You got it. See you guys.
Have a good holiday.
You too.
Good
There
stuff,
goes Tony. Well, this show that had no real theme really moved quick.
It did. We are done for the year here.
We are, other than going over to Mines for a little bit.
Gonna go over to Mines for a little bit. Yep. Extra content, minds.com and /Seth Williams Show. Go over there. $5 a month, whatever. Yeah, thanks everybody for listening the entire year. We do appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Please don't forget that we're going to be back in a couple of weeks. 2 weeks off, and then we'll be back and ready to roll.
That's right.
So thanks to everybody. Have a great Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. I don't even want to say goodbye, but I feel like it's that time. So
we'll see you in a couple weeks.
We will see you in a couple of weeks. Again, thank you. We really do appreciate everything.
Seth Williams loves this land, stands tall and proud. Believes in freedom, speaks his mind out loud. Mentored by Trip, he learned to be tough. Life knocked him down, but he got back up. Lost a leg, but he's still strong and true. Chasing dreams under skies of red, white, and blue. Voting for Trump, he shouts it clear. WTAM tried to bring him down, but he's still here. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air. Hates LeBron James, won't wear that crown. Prefers hard work and blue jeans in this town. Radio waves try to shut him up, but Seth keeps singing, filling that cup. From the small town streets to the mountain high, Seth sees the flag waving, reaching for the sky. He keeps on fighting with a rebel yell, for every fallen soldier and the stories they tell. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air. From the small town streets to the mountain high, Seth sees the flag waving, reaching for the sky. He keeps on fighting with a rebel yell, for every fallen soldier and the stories they tell. In the heart of America, Seth takes a stand. Against the tides, he defends our land. Liberals call him crazy, but he don't care. He's got the spirit of an eagle, soaring high in the air.